newspaper to be here to join us as we deal with the news one after the other.
In laws breed homelessness, slums. That's on page 6. Moving on from that to page 19 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. Higher tariff worsen MDA's electricity backlog threatens supply. CSO's others fought livestock ministry as the NRC resumed cattle transport by rail. That's on page 6. On page 4, on NSAS, ECOWAS court finds federal government guilty. ECOWAS court finds federal government guilty. That's on page 4. Minister confirms federal government guilty. That's on page 4. Minister confirms duty-free policy as federal government target crash in food prices. That's on page 5 of the Guardian newspaper. Supreme Court delivers judgment on local government autonomy today. Supreme Court delivers judgment on local government autonomy today. On page 5 of the Guardian newspaper, 16 states fail as access 145.7 billion naira Yobaka funds. Strange illness kills 12 in Gombe community. That's on page 30 of the Guardian newspaper. Governors panic as Tinubu meets labor over minimum wage. It's on page 5. Yeah, that's on page 5. That's all I have on the front page of the Guardian newspaper this morning. Do well to read more. Yes, do well to read more.
Yeah, on the Nation newspaper, we have some stories that is so trading, and we are going to go straight into it. Federal government kicks off food security emergency plan. We also have ex-minister Mama faces 33 billion fraud charge. That is serious. Tinubu has political will to
of right violations. On hardship, Tinubu has closed doors to ministers, NAS members. Ndome. This is coming from Ndome. That's on page 29 of the Daily Independent newspaper. Still on page 29. Battled law confirms Nduzi Ujoko as PGA national chairman. On page 6. Be fair, upper-court justices. Mara promotes 5,442 NDLEA officers, honors 15 commands, 17 personnel. That's on page 7 of the Daily Independent newspaper this morning. We've started preparing our 2024 budget. This is coming from Governor Fubara. On a report on a summer agreement, federal government angry says it would design to cause confusion in the land. Tinubu swears in a new set of permanent secretaries. That's on page 6. The last story I'll be taking that's on livestock. Livestock minister won't stop others. Farmers clashes. The writer on that it says, MBF, now than that I have the Daily Trust. That I have the Daily Trust. The first story I'll be taking says, bread beyond reach, citizens lament. The writer on that it says, bakeries shut, government must act, non-master bakers. On page 4. On page 20 of the Daily Trust newspaper, NAC rails out a new sanction for discourse. On page 6, women minister reps in shouting march over alleged diversion of 1.5 billion naira. Tinubu has been fenced off by forces. This is coming from Ndume. It's on page 29 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Talks, residents clash in runners over Sanusi's emissary. That's on the Daily Trust newspaper. Still on the Daily Trust newspaper on page 30. Born government reintegrates 8,490 repentant Boko Haram members. On page 5, conflicting court order. That's on conflicting court orders. CGN vows to deal with errant judges. Okay, that's all I have on the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. Okay, these are the stories we have on the front pages of our headlines and of our national dailies this morning. We have to go on a very short break. When we come back, we'll be back with the details. Don't go anywhere.
Feeling stuck? Need a boost of inspiration? Look no further. The dew of motivation is here. You are listening to Erie 96.1, your favorite radio station. Classics. We are the king.
You are locked into Erie 96.1 FM, the majestic station that rules the
We are the king.
Alright, you welcome back from that short break. You're still listening to the Money Rush on Erie 96.1 FM, Ibadan. Yes, and we are opposite the Nigerian Television Authority at Goody Gate. Yes, and I'm glad to inform you that we just read past the headlines. Now we are into the details. We are into the details now. The first story I'll be taking from the Punch newspaper. That's on labor. The Nigerian Labour Congress has said it will press for 250 naira, 50,000 minimum wage during a planned meeting with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu at the State House, Abuja, on Thursday, which is today. The head of public affairs of the NLC, Benson Upa, said Labour will insist on its 250,000 naira proposal during this season with the president. The head of public affairs of the NLC, Benson Upa, said Labour will insist on its 250,000 naira proposal during the season with the president. He said, and I quote, "We are going to the table with our demand of 250,000 naira. Even as the cost of living has since moved up, we have been very reasonable and patriotic," Upa told the newsmen. Labour leaders were invited to a meeting with the president in furtherance of Tinubu's promise to hold more consultation with stakeholders on the minimum wage. The proposed meeting is coming about a month after the president said his Democracy Day speech on June 12, 2024, that is executive bill on the new national minimum wage, would be soon sent to the National Assembly for passage. On June 25, the Federal Executive Council, chaired by the president, stepped down deliberately on the new minimum wage to allow for more engagement with stakeholders ahead of the planned executive bill. The president took the decision after receiving the report of the Tripartite Committee on Minimum Wage from the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, that's George Akume. The report, which Akume received from the chairman of the Tripartite Committee, Bukar Gonin, recommended 62,000 naira minimum wage based on the submission by federal government, state government, and the organized private sector. That's the story. You can track up the story on the Punch newspaper with this headline: Labour meets Tinubu today, insist on 250,000 naira minimum wage.
Okay, I'll be kicking start with Vanguard newspaper with the first story. We will regulate price of imported food, federal government. The federal government has said food items being imported into the country in the next 150 days will be subjected to recommended retail price to bring down the high cost of food in Nigeria. This came on a day the lawmaker representing Borno South Senatorial District, Senator Ali Ndume, alleged that the food crisis in the country was further worsened by the fact that President Bola Tinubu was not accessible to advice by lawmakers and even cabinet minister. The Minister of Agriculture, Food Security, Abubakar Kyari, who disclosed this on his Twitter handle, said having suspended duties and tax on food items, the federal government will take a step further to subject items to be imported to what he described as recommended retail price. He also assured that the prices of food items in the country will crash in the next 180 days and pleaded with Nigerians to be patient with the government. If you are interested in this news, do well to pick the Vanguard newspaper for more details. Federal government will regulate price of imported food.
Still on the Punch newspaper, ex-accountant General begs for time to refund looted funds. A former acting accountant general of the Federation, Anakwe Nwaboko, on Wednesday pleaded with Justice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court in Abuja to give him more time to conclude to refund of the public funds allegedly looted by him and his co-defendants. Nwaboko and his co-defendant, Felix Nweke, are facing 11 counts of money laundering to the tune of 1.6 billion naira. They are being prosecuted by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, that's EFCC. The defendants were accused of committing to act while Nwaboko served as the Director of Finance and Accounts in the Ministry of Defense between 2019 and 2021. While Nwaboko is the first defendant, Uweke is the second defendant. Nwaboko was appointed acting AGO on May 20, 2022 under ex-president Muhammadu Buhari after Ahmed Idris was suspended as AGF over alleged 80 billion naira fraud. He was, however, removed in July 22, a few weeks after resuming office. While the matter was called on Wednesday, the defendant prayed the court to halt the arraignment until another date to perfect the refund. Iweke's lawyer, Emeka Oyeka, informed the court that there was a new development in the case. He told the court that his client had taken steps towards settling the matter. The lawyer said Iweke had more substantial refunds of the money traced to him by the anti-graft agency. There is more to this story. You can track up the story on the Punch newspaper with its headline, Ex-Accountant General begs for time to refund looted funds.
Yeah, still on the Vanguard newspaper, I still have the story on local government autonomy. Federal government, 36 governors, no faith today as Supreme Court deliver judgments. Federal government, 36 governors, no faith today as Supreme Court deliver judgments. The Supreme Court will today deliver judgments on the suits the federal government filed to secure full autonomy for the 774 local government areas in the country. The Apex Court notified the federal government of the judgment date through the Office of the Attorney General of Federation and Minister of Justice. State governors were informed through their respective Attorney Generals. This, as into these, will be recalled that 7-man panel of courts led by Justice Gabalawa on June 13 referred judgment on this matter after all the parties adopted their final brief of agreement. The states, in separate preliminary objections they filed before the Apex Court, saw the dismissal of the suit with substantial costs. They contended that the AGF, which is the Attorney General of the Federation, Prince Lateef Fagbemi San, who initiated the actions on behalf of the local government concerning the local government autonomy, lacked the legal right to do so. If you are interested and you want to know details more about this local government autonomy and their final judgment today, do well to pick the Vanguard newspaper.
First, U.S. Senate Democrats asked Biden to step aside. Peter Wells on Wednesday became the first Democratic senator to publicly call on U.S. President Joe Biden to ditch his re-election bid as concern raised over his age and fitness. He said, and I quote, "For the good of the country, I'm calling on President Biden to withdraw from the race," the Vermont senator said in an opinion piece in the Washington Post. That is the story. You can read more this morning with this headline. First, U.S. Senate asks Biden to step aside.
Yeah, we go to the Guardian newspaper. And here we will start from Oyo State. And in this news, the Sultan of Sokoto congratulates new Olubadan on coronation. All this we will get in the Guardian newspaper. The Sultan of Sokoto and Chairman of National Traditional Rulers Council of Nigeria, Mohammed Saad Abubakar, has congratulated the new Olubadan of Ibadan land, Oba Owolabi Olakuleyin, on his coronation and presentation of staff of office by the Governor of Oyo State, Seyi Makinde. Sultan Abubakar, who is also President General of the Nigerian Supreme Council of Islamic Affairs, noted that Ibadan is a strategically self-regulated kingdom of historical warriors, yet very obstinate people require in its sequences successful royal leaderships to keep its tempo of growth and development. He applauded Governor Makinde for his continued respect for traditional institutions, thus ensuring that any actions that his government will take on same must be one of that devoid of doubt and capable of winning the heart of the people as tradition demands. Sultan congratulates new Olubadan on coronation.
All right, we have to go on a very short break. When we come back, we continue with the story, and we will be able to pick call. You can call in when we come back. Don't go anywhere.
Erie 96.1 FM. We are the king.
This is your man Flo Rida.
What's happening? This is your homie Plies, man.
Hey, yo, what's poppin', man? It's your boy Bow Weezy, man. Check it out.
This is Ed Sheeran.
Hi, I'm Charlie Puth.
Hi, this is Paul McCartney.
Your systems are offline.
Tune in to Erie 96.1 FM, the majestic station that rules the sound waves. Join us.
Feeling stuck? Need a boost of inspiration? Look no further. The dew of motivation is here. You are listening to Erie 96.1, your favorite radio station for non-stop classics. We are the king.
You are locked into Erie 96.1 FM, the majestic station that rules the sound waves.
Erie 96.1 FM. We are the king.
For staying tuned to Erie 96.1 FM Ibadan, and I'm glad to inform you that we're back. We're back from that short break. We are back with our in-house analyst in person of Dr. Abimbola Amowo. Dr. Abimbola Amowo, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Nigerians, and welcome to the program.
Okay, I would like to ask you. I would like to start with this question, with this story. Local government funds. Supreme Court decide federal government suit against the governors today. The Supreme Court will today, deliver judgment in the suit instituted by the federal government against the 36 state governors of the Federation on local government autonomy. The suit filed by the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi, SAN, is seeking full autonomy and direct fund allocation to the 774 local government in the country. It is praying the Apex Court to make an order that funds of local governments being run by caretakers appointed by governors, instead elected chairmen and councillors, should be withheld. But the 36th state, represented by the Attorney General, opposed the suit on various grounds, including their contention that the Supreme Court lacked jurisdiction to entertain the suit. A 7-man panel of Supreme Court justices, led by Justice Gaba Lawal, heard the suit on June 13 and had reserved judgment. That's the story, Dr. Abimbola. What is your take on this story? Supreme Court decide federal government suit against governors today.
We must understand that the nation needs the local government. The local government is the hem of affair of the governments that is very, very closer to the citizenry. And if you want to make it right, the problem of food insecurity, even security of lives and properties, even community development, socio-economic development will start and emanate from the local government. And it's until when we have the opportunity and we can be rest assured that we are giving the local government their pride of place. But the fact remains that the local government should be monitored by a set of people who knows what the administration is all about. Because in some local governments, people at the head of affairs, because of their locality, because of their level of exposure, their level of education, they can't govern themselves, not to talk of the governing the people. So when we want to do that, when we want to give autonomy to the local government, there should be a standard, a supreme standard. It is not all about legatorzo. It is more than legatorzo. This is purely what the nation needs as at now. This is what we end insurgency. This is how we will be able to capture every region of the nation according to what they are producing. This is when we will know what each local government can add to the value of the nation. This is when we understand the prerequisite of knowing what the nation is all about in terms of governance. So it has a long way to do in terms of for the nation to progress. Local government, in my own personal opinion, should be given autonomy, but they should be monitored. There should be some independent people that will monitor the activity of the local government. They should be evaluated, maybe on quarterly basis, on seasonal basis, or on yearly basis. They should be strictly evaluated. They should know what comes out of each local government, what each local government is adding as value to the nation, and how the security of each local government will be monitored. That's what I want to take about that.
Okay, now all states oppose the suit. All the states that oppose the suit and pray the Supreme Court to dismiss the petition, to dismiss it. They want the Supreme Court to dismiss the case.
The fact is very clear. We should understand this.
Okay.
The reason why some states are opposing is because they felt
the reason, sir?
They felt that they want to dominate the activity of the local government. They still want to be in control of the local government. They don't want a situation whereby, because in some states, it is the government that decide who goes to the local government. All the local government is under just a ministry in the state ministry. The local government of Ministry of Local Government and Constituency Matters. That is the only ministry that decide the fate of everybody in the local government. Where we have other ministries that decide in what happens in the whole state. Now you are leaving the whole local government, like our state now, are leaving 13 local government into the hem of just a single ministry. Something is wrong somewhere. This is where we need restructuring and resuscitation of our system. Our system is not encouraging to the extent that it is giving the right things to be done in the right way. We are not doing it right at all. We are sure we are not doing it right. And it's because we are still in teething period. I always say this. We are still in political terrain. We are still in teething period. We are just trying to get it right. 20 years old boy is still learning. 24 years old boy is still getting out of adolescence. So in terms of political stability, we are just getting there. So we still have a long way to go to make it valuable, to make it the way it should be. You still have a long way to go. But to my own point of view, the local governments and the state should support, because of the fact that some governors felt that if they give local government autonomy, it will reduce their power, it will reduce their strength, because they will not be able to know who is getting. The power in Nigeria is all about who, how, and when you manipulate power to be yours. That's the fact.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Abimbola. The number to call to be part of the show this morning is 09056969961. 09056969961. What is your take on this story on this local government front? Supreme Court decides federal government suits against governors today. They are going to decide. Probably we should be waiting for the outcome of the meeting today. Dr. Abimbola, we should be waiting for the outcome today. Let's wait for that. But you can share your thoughts on 09056969961. You can also over to our Facebook page to drop your comments there. We already have some comments there. We have Joshua Jola Osho Henry. We have Ishaku M. We have Dairo Oluwaseun. We have Ilesomi. Taiwo Joy is there. Go and meet them there. Drop your comments. We'll take them.
Yeah, I just have a question to ask Dr. Amao. We've already go through the news on food issues, because there is no how, even though if you have the local government autonomy now, we do not know the final judgment. We still have to deal with this issue that is on ground, which is the issue of food insecurity, food scarcity, and the inflation. Now, the Minister of Agriculture, they are on their toes now to make sure that there will be food. According to them, there are plans that they are within 80 days. And they were also even saying that the price of commodity will crash in 180 days. What is your take on that? Do you think it's going to go the way it's been planned?
The fact remains that is not agricultural policy orientation. No, it is economic policy orientation. Because there's a different and a very different ball game within agricultural policies and economic policy. In this type of issue that we are dealing with, it is not the Minister of Agriculture that will tell us the food prices will crash. No. What has he produced? What factor? Let the Minister of Agriculture come out with, this is what we have produced in Nigeria, and this is what the percentage of the food that is on our table. It is the Minister of Economy that is trying, and the custom and aviation and the things like that are. It's a commodity now they are bringing. It's not a product. It's a needed commodity at this point in time, because when the economic law says that when the demand for a product is high than its supply, there will be a fall in price. It's a very simple scenario. It is not because you are producing; it is because they are bringing in food. If you go in depth to study what is on ground, it is because the government is trying to subsidize it indirectly.
But there is something that the Minister of Agriculture says, that they will make sure that it is the retailers, they are going to monitor the prices of those commodities. How do you think they will implement that? How do you think that it will not be sabotaged by some people?
The fact is always clear. Who are the retailers? Can we have the list of the retailers? Who are the people that they are giving it to? Is it not the politicians again? Is it not the people that are in caliber of power that they are giving it to again? Are we giving it according to the local government basis? What percentage are we giving to each and every local government? Which percentage are we giving to each and every ward? On what grants? On what basis? The fact remains that it is until when we are having our data right. It is until when we can be sure of the reality of our data. It's until when we know what we are really working towards. Not basing things on the way it has been written. Not basing things on the fact that it has always been like this. No! The level of education, the level of technology, the level of advancement has gone beyond just doing it the way it has been. It has gotten to a point that each and everything you do per minute has a record. Each and everything you do per seconds has a record. So we must base things on the realities of the records. We must know what are we importing, for whom, when, how, How is it going to be distributed if the people that have ordered it will not be selling it at a very, very ridiculous rate? This is exactly what is happening in Nigeria. It might, if you want to do it in some ways, it will eventually cause crash again, because people will be rushing to go and get. So there should be a proper regulation. There should be a proper understanding. There should be a way to monitor all these things. It is more than book thing. Actualization of the policies that we are talking about. Not that people at Abuja will tell you we have distributed 20 tons load of maize to Southwest, and then you eventually it get to Southwest, and it will be transported by, they have transported some level of rice to the east. These are the realities of what is on ground. These are what you should face. Not paperwork, not just policies, but realities of what should be done and how it should be done to actualize our national needs. That's my own take about that.
Thank you so much, Dr. Abimbola. I have this story that says ex-accountant general begs for time to refund looted funds. I've already, the former acting accountant general of the Federation, Unakwe Uwaboku, on Wednesday pleaded with Justice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court in Abuja to give him more time to conclude the refund of the public funds allegedly looted by him and his co-defendant, Mr. Abimbola. The defendants were accused of committing to the act while Uwaboko served as the director of finance and account in the Ministry of Defense between 2019 and 2021. And the funniest part now is Uwaboko was replaced in 2022. Iwabuku, yes, I think Iwabuku replaced 80 billion naira fraud in 2022. Dr. Abimbola, what is really going on? Because I don't understand. One was alleged of 80 billion naira in 2022, and you are asked to replace that person.
And the whole Ibadan people at large are only enjoying on all other traditional rulers to join hands with the state government in facilitating development and especially providing security, because I believe they also have their own quota to contribute. That's my takeaway.
All right. Good morning to you, Mariam. That was Mariam. Thank you so much, Dr. Abimbola. What is really going on in this thing?
But absolute power corrupts absolutely, and we are still within the same caucus. In the same set of people, it's like having.
Sorry,
we have a caller. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you. What's
God bless the honors in the studio. Regarding the Supreme Judgment on federal government suits against local government autonomy, I think I also am eager to hear the outcome of today's judgment.
Yes,
but to get it right in this country, we need to strap our 1999 constitution and make another constitution on board, because this 1999 constitution allows the state government and the state assembly to monitor the existence of local government, because the constitution allows the joint allocation committee under the state government. So that's the reason why we need to new constitution to get the good benefit for the people at the grassroots through the local government autonomy, because the sharing formula allocation of the federal government with the state government is totally wrong. How possible you have the sharing formula, the federal government take the target percentage of over 50%, which is state, we take the 30%, which is system, and local government, which is 774, 20%. So that means it's very wrong. If you federal government stay with us, that they want to fight the local government autonomy. That's my own submission this morning. Thank you.
What's your name again?
Please?
Your name. Okay. Thank you for the call. Thank you for calling us. Mr. Abimbola, right on.
So the fact is that we should understand what the nation is all about now and what we are facing. Power corrupts, as I said, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. We are still trying to rebottle a product in different bottles, repackage a product with different label, trying to build up realities where there is none. It is only people that we felt that can do us a favor that are now in the helm of affair. It happens in every sector of our economy. And that is why Nigeria, we are just ravaging within the same circles of jurisdiction. When we are ready to be sure, how will somebody steal money, misappropriate money, and we say you should give him time to send to refund the money? That means there are some hidden facts. These are the set of people, sorry if I should use this word, most people that are in the custodial of the correctional centers are not supposed to be there. Because the set of people that are supposed to be there are still the people that Nigerians are worshipping. They are called heroes. The set of people that ought to be in the correction centers.
Yes, doctor. What you are saying, we know that is the situation on ground. What is the way forward? Because this thing is repeating itself. Yes. What is the way forward? At least we've known that this issue is on ground already. What do you think we can do to move this country forward in terms of corruption?
The fact remains that I have always been saying this. Our problem is beyond corruption. Our problem has gone to the extent that our orientation to life is very wrong. Very, very, very wrong. Because in a situation whereby the most valuable thing in a nation is wealth. The most valuable thing in a nation, when it comes to the wealth, when there is nothing like integrity, respect for humanity, high level of understanding, educational development, they are not the priority. But the priority remains wealth. There will be corruption. A boy of 10 years old will be telling you, I want to make millions. No, that was not the value that we met. That wasn't the value we met. The value we met was you must work for your earning. Before you are made, you must have passed through some stages. Before you get to this stage, you must have passed. But now, you can do anything through your back door. You can't do everything through your back door. But the people at the helm of affairs understand this because they know what it takes them to pass through the high of a needle to get to where they are. Most of the people at the helm of affairs, they know what they pass through. But they will indulge some people because of their personal and selfish reasons. So that they will have their ways. Because if they all indulge them, they won't have their ways. That's the problem.
So are you trying to tell us that the judiciary are not performing their duty?
The judiciary are performing their duty as it is rubber stamped.
Wow.
The judiciary are doing perfectly well as it is rubber stamped. They are acting on the instructions. They are not acting on their own. It is the executive that decide what the judiciary does. In a situation whereby it is the federal government or that determines who is the Minister of Justice, it's not the MBA that decides who is the Minister of Justice. And you can have a Minister of Justice from the legal department, and you still have somebody from legal department to be a Minister of Aviation.
Mr. Ademola Toba.
Thank you very much. Many thanks for your reporting. So concerning the local government autonomy and others.
Okay.
So the local government can't work alone. And the local government was established to avoid too much concentration of power in authority and money. So the local government and others have the power to do job, they employ, they spend money, and they should continue working together. The federal government, state government, they should continue to work together and other things. So because federal government need more funding, and the internet generates revenue have to improve. And concerning the implementation of the prices and other things, the federal government can implement to monitor prices and other price. It is possible. So you see, government generates revenue, generates from oil, and the surplus will be used as a control measure concerning inflation. So we should have price control, and government should do more. They should focus on agriculture. And some government demand the different ministers that they mismanage money and other things. So 80 billion is too much. So every time you now return the money should be spent judiciously for people development. And we must move forward. How can we move forward? Just important. It is important that people, parastatals and others, to give room for accountability and transparency in the management of funds. So at times we say the people, the NSA, the ECOWAS, find the federal government of the standard of NSAS. So we don't want what happened during the NSAS to happen again. Even the federal government has shown commitment in the management of police affairs. Is concerned about the police. Even we are concerned about the police. And the federal government do not violate law because the ECOWAS said they violate the law. So the federal government do not violate the law. So we don't want what happened during the NSAS protest to happen again. During the NSAS protest, the federal government intervene and we intervene as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Demola Toba from Ibadan. We appreciate that. Ms. Rita. Okay.
We are still on the issue of, corruption. Ex-Power Minister Mama faces 33 billion fraud charge. So this news, the Economic and Financial Crime Commission, EFCC, may arraign a former Minister of Power, Mama, today for allegedly laundering over 33 billion naira. Mama, who served under ex-President Muhammadu Buhari, is expected to face 12-count charge based on offences he allegedly committed during his tenure between August 2019 and September 2021. All this goes on, and we can say we are fighting corruption, and we are still saying that a lot of things are happening underneath. I just want to buttress your analysis regards issue of corruption, and this is still going on. And they even said may arrange, so it's not even still certain. May God help us in this country.
Amen. Thank you so much, Mr. Demola, Mr. Dr. Abimbola. Thank you so much. We appreciate let's check our Facebook. We have a lot of comments there. We have Jolausho Eri Ishako. Thank you so much. We have Ile Somi Urire. Thank you so much. I have this message from this comment from Sulaiman Sharif. Good morning to you all. In a true federal system, there are only two component units, federal and state. We should run a true federal system in which there are two bodies coming together for a union, the federal government and sub-nationalists. Thank you so much for that. And we have this message from Oluwatife Ademi Junho. It is gladdening the heart to hear that the new Olubadan in person of Oba Olakuleyin had been given this type of office and we are only employed to follow suit in the footstep of the governor in bringing sustainable development to the state, and also he should join hands in looking for ways to provide maximum security in the state, just like what the governor is doing. May the Lord lead him right. Thank you so much. We appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. This is where we call it a wrap on the Morning Rush. We have a lot of comments. We have copies of comments on our Facebook. Thank you so much. We won't be able to take all. We appreciate our caller, Mariam. We have a Demola, and the second caller, we don't grab the name. Thank you so much, Dr. Abimbola. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much. And I wish Olubadan a happy staying in the terrain and his rule bring back greatness to Ibadan land.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you so much. Till I come your way next time. My name